Has the 1D&D killer arrived, or is Tales of the Valiant just 5e with a facelift?
Can you answer the question?
Kobold Press has officially provided the title for its upcoming 1D&D alternative, Tales of the Valiant, which will launch on Kickstarter in May. The player's guide for Tales of the Valiant will include 13 base classes, lineages and heritages, and a boatload of rules that are designed to build on the foundation of the 5e SRD that was placed into the Creative Commons by Wizards of the Coast earlier this year. Tales of the Valiant operates in a very similar space as 1D&D. Both offer improvements to the 5th edition system. So, which is better? Let's dive into Tales of the Valiant. And hey, if you like this kind of content, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. So, Tales of the Valiant has a very specific goal. It aims to shore up what is in the now publicly available SRD and provide alternatives for the stuff found in the Dungeons & Dragons Player Handbook, but is not in the SRD. That includes things like subclasses, feats, and monster lore. It also seems to be a little bit crunchier than 5e, with more options to choose at more levels, along with some beefier abilities.
Gotta have beef, gotta have spice.
Now, we know a little bit about what Tales of the Valiant will look like thanks to 2 public playtest packets, which dug into character creation and the fighter and wizard classes. These playtests were incredibly divisive, with some liking the crunch it added and some feeling that it was unbalanced and didn't address the core issues that have plagued 5th edition from the very start. There are some really good bits in what we've seen, such as the luck mechanic acting as an alternative for inspiration. I personally love that. And a lineage and heritage system that tackles in 5th edition what is known as race mechanics far better than what 5e or 1D&D manage. However, the playtest material, and we should stress that it's playtest material, it's not the final stuff, had some really big honkin' holes in some of its rules. Ritual casting, for instance. It includes several spells that shouldn't have unlimited casting potential. Animate Dead is a ritual spell in Tales of the Valiant, which potentially means that a player character can create a literal army of the dead and keep it up and running as long as they have the time to run it. Also, the fighter class has some big whiffs in it. I like that it has options for bonus actions, but core features like Second Wind get nerfed, and some of the maneuvers are just wonky and weird. Of course, there's plenty of time to fix some of the nuances in Tales of the Valiant. Playtests are meant to offer fixes to big problems, but Tales of the Valiant is very much a work in progress, let's say. At the end of the day, Tales of the Valiant has a really tough job to do. It needs to stay backwards compatible with 5th edition, and more importantly, all of the 5th edition material made by Kobold Press in the past, while simultaneously trying to fix the issues with that rule set. Now, of course, 1D&D is trying to do the exact same thing, but they are taking much bigger stabs at what needs to be replaced. So the question becomes whether Kobold Press can offer enough of an alternative to 1D&D that folks will want it instead of 1D&D. And that's, quite frankly, is going to be kind of tricky, considering that 1D&D won't be out until next year. So, are you going to give Tales of the Valiant a try? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.